Go.
You are a blessing to us. You are a blessing to us. Tell us your name, and we're glad you came. You are a blessing to us. Good morning and welcome. Welcome to ABBA Church of Renewed Faith, where we lift up God and say thank you for another day. Today's sermon is about seeing, and it's called Blind Faith. And I remember a few days ago flipping through the television channels and coming to a commercial. Maybe some of you have seen it, where you have a basketball player who is catching balls and he's blindfolded. I stopped and watched the commercial in its entirety and was just mesmerized. And I don't know, it may have been some type of technical trick that they were able to do, but just looking at it at face value, there was a basketball player, it didn't give his name, or maybe I missed that part, who was blindfolded, and someone, maybe it was a basketball machine, it didn't show that, was shooting basketballs to this basketball player, and he was blindfolded and he was catching them, and one ball would come to his right and he would bend down and go to his right and get it, and then another ball would come to his left and he would get that ball, and then one ball was passed to him or shot to him on the kind of high end and he would catch that ball, and one kind of almost went behind his back and he bent down and turned around and caught that ball, all with a blindfold across his eye. And I thought about it after the commercial ended, and I wondered to myself, how many hours or how many days or how long did it take for him to perfect this and to get the timing right, and to get the positioning right in order to catch those balls, and how much effort did he put in to getting this down. And then I thought about our faith and how much time and how much effort it takes. I don't know, I'm lifting it up to you today, to embroaden our faith, because the New Testament book of Matthew talks about having the faith of a mustard seed, a seed that's so small that you can barely see it if it's sitting in the palm of your hand. And I thought about how our faith could be grown and how our faith could be strengthened if we just took the time out to let go and let God. And I thought about this basketball player who was able to have faith that this ball would come to him. Whoever was giving him the ball, he was receiving it, knowing that that would be there for him, and if it was going to be shot to him in a high position, the ball would be there. And thinking about our faith, knowing that God, the same God of Isaac and Abraham, Isaac and Jacob, and how much faith Abraham must have had in the book of Genesis, as I preached last Sunday, when God directed him to leave Haran and to leave his place where he had been, and he was, the Bible tells us, 75 years old, and he took the things of substance, not all of his things, but he took the things of substance, and he took along his wife Sarah, and he took his nephew Lot, and moved because God directed him to move, going on nothing but his faith, not knowing exactly where he was going, but he continued going and being directed by God, going through Egypt and ending up going to a place that had been promised by God. And when God said, this is the place, I want you to look eastward, I want you to look southward, I want you to look westward, I want you to look to the north, and this is the place where you will be, going on faith alone. So I leave that message with you today, thinking about how God directs you in your life, knowing that God is always with you. God is always there. You might know not know the position or the way that God is going to come to you, but just like the basketball player, knowing that God is always there and is in front of you and behind you, and there's no position you can be in where God is not going to be there to lift you up and to give you the desires of your heart if we are obedient and if we have the faith of a mustard seed. I will close today by saying the sign, and I wish I could tell you the writer of this particular phrase or this particular saying that was on this sign that I saw, but I don't. But the words continue to resonate with me that says, faith is seeing the invisible, believing the incredible, and expecting the impossible. I will say it again. Faith is seeing the invisible, seeing not just what's there, but seeing the things that are not there, the things that are coming, being able to use God's eye or use God to ask you to give you a supernatural vision, something that you can't see on your own. If your eyes are like my eyes as we grow older, I have to put my glasses on to be able to see a little bit better. Don't you want a God that can be all-seeing, that sits high and looks low? Don't you want the God's vision, or God to give you the vision? The same God that made the firmament, that put the stars in the sky, that separated heaven and earth. Don't you want that kind of supernatural vision? So I close today by saying, have the faith of a mustard seed. Remember the basketball player who, even though he was blinded, he could, or wore a blindfold, he could anticipate the ball incoming, anticipate God's presence, and know God is there in your own life. The message of God for the people of God. Hallelujah. You can I hope that you were able to get something and take something away from this message. We ask you to send donations to ABBA Church of Renewed Faith, Post Office Box 9501, Chicago, Illinois 60609. And we will continue to let go and let God as we continue on our journey and in our ministry. Thank you.